The Grand Theft Auto 6 map is going to be shaped differently than a lot of us think. We'll be talking about all of that in this video today and a whole lot more. So at least traditionally, the way Rockstar has done Grand Theft Auto maps, they've been pretty linear. Think of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. It's a giant square. Grand Theft Auto 4 was essentially like the 3 islands of Liberty City, and Grand Theft Auto 5 was basically just a straight line up from the mountains to the main city. There isn't a whole lot of variation, and there isn't really a whole lot of shapeage towards the map itself. And so far, the mapping project that we've been looking at that has encompassed data from the trailers and from the leaked footage basically looks like this. This is something we've covered in previous videos, and it looks similar to the GTA 5 map, but a lot bigger. We obviously know that's going to be one feature of the GTA 6 world of Vice City and Leonida, that it is going to be bigger, but you can kind of see that it roughly assembles the almost bottom 50% of the real life shape of Florida. But that's only really, I would say, half to 40% of what the state looks like. And I believe Rockstar is going to channel what they did with Red Dead Redemption 2 and make the map look more like the real life state of Florida. So let's just go ahead and take a look at the Red Dead Redemption 2 map right now. You can see that there's almost nothing linear about it. There's so many little nooks and crannies and different types of shapes, areas that get really wide, areas that get super narrow and that are going off in various different directions. And this is kind of what I suspect the GTA 6 map will more look like, because I do believe Rockstar is going to base it off of the real life shape of Florida. And if we take a look at the shape of Florida, a lot of what we've seen so far is essentially been the central and southern part of it. That's where Vice City is going to be located. That's where Port Gellhorn is going to be located. That's where Lake Leonida is. But so far, it seems like there's a massive part of the world that we haven't seen. And that would be North and Northeast Florida, and specifically the Panhandle, which kind of gives Florida its iconic shape. And I believe at the end of the day, this is what the Grand Theft Auto 6 map is going to look like. It's roughly going to be the shape of real-life Florida, featuring that Panhandle part, which does make up about a third of the entire state. So for Rockstar not to include it, and for Rockstar to not roughly have it shaped like this, would be a little bit strange. Now, the reason we know this is from some footage from the Grand Theft Auto 6 leaks, and I wish I could show it to you guys, but it actually appears in 4 different clips. So if you have access to them, I'll actually read them off to you guys right now. It occurs in America's 2021 0712, 12/1951, America's 2021 11/05, 11/09/23, America's 2022 05/03, 11/20/11, and then America's 2022 08/02, 20/20/00. And essentially what we're looking for is signs that you would see if you were actually driving in the real life state of Florida. And what those signs are is they are back to back, and on the top they say north, and they roughly have an outline of the shape of Florida, giving you what highway or interstate you're on, in this instance like 61, and having arrow signs pointing to whether you're going north or south. And in some instances it'll say east or west if you're traveling on the Panhandle. And we see these exact signs in the Grand Theft Auto 6 leaks featured in those clips. And again, I wish I could show them to you guys in this video today. I feel like Rockstar is still pretty sensitive to that stuff and is still removing content that features the GTA 6 leaks. So unfortunately, it's still not something I'm going to be able to show, but the cherry on top of all of it is the sign that can be seen in Grand Theft Auto 6 in the leaks is roughly in that same shape of the state of Florida. So it really does feel like that's what the world is going to look like. It might not necessarily be this straight up and down world like what we saw with GTA 5. And there's a couple of people in the community that have created some really unique examples of what that might ultimately look like. And I want to show them on the screen for you guys right now. Here's the first example right here. And you can see that it might not necessarily be so extreme. Like in real life, Florida's Panhandle extends out so much further and wider than the entire body of the main part of the state. So it might be something like this where you almost just get like a little chicken wing or a little nugget that extends out to the top left to the northwest corner of the map. That's something they might ultimately do. It also will depend on if they're going to landlock the entire northern part of the map. Remember that Florida in real life borders the states of Georgia and Alabama, so it's landlocked. It's not an island. So depending on what approach Rockstar decides to take, that certainly might alter the shape. Here's another example right here. Again, this is just a really rough drawing of kind of what it might look like. This is utilizing one of the most recent Vice City and Leonida State mapping projects, version 0.043. We have version 0.044 now, but it's relatively the same. And you can just see there that that might be the extended shape they give it. It won't be an exact one-to-one scale of, how long the panhandle is, but it will give you roughly that same shape, and it will make the map wider at the top than it is at the bottom, just like the real-life state of Florida. And then a user on the mapping thread project, Leonida Man, actually sort of created this overlay, which you guys can see right now, and that might give you sort of the best example. Maybe the world is just going to be turned a little bit more sideways, essentially giving you that vibe like it does have a panhandle. And yes, it is extending out much further to the left, so I'm not saying it's just been rotated, but it might be something along those lines where Vice City is more central, and then you have more things off into the northwest corner, so it doesn't feel like it's that super top and left heavy panhandle. So honestly, this is relatively what I think the shape of Florida is going to look like. And it might be a little bit funky, but over time, I think we're honestly going to be really happy with the end result that Rockstar Games gives us. I'm sure there's many people that originally thought, man, this Red Dead Redemption 2 map looks incredibly strange with all the different little areas of the world. I heard some people almost calling it like a chicken wing, like in the bottom left, you have the drum and then you have the head up at the top. Like there's so many different funky things that people have described it as. But I know at the end of the day, number one, Rockstar has done a ton of research here. They are well aware of converting real life spaces into fictional worlds. So they know how to make the map look not only as realistic as possible, but also working for what they want to do as far as gameplay goes. And number two, they've been working on this game for like a decade now. They have probably had multiple different versions of the map and have ultimately come up with the best one and the best shape so that it makes GTA 6 the best possible playable world. But just don't be surprised as we get more information from Rockstar, and hopefully that comes soon in the form of screenshots, a second trailer, and as we're able to see more of the world of Vice City and Leonida, that it does sort of take shape of like the real life Florida state. So I'd love to hear from you guys in those comments down below. Let me know what you think the final shape of the GTA 6 map is going to look like. Is it going to be more like Grand Theft Auto 5, or do you think it's going to be more sort of the route that Rockstar took with Red Dead Redemption 2 and being shaped like the real life state of Florida? Let me know what you guys think in those comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would of course be awesome, and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the GTA 6 videos that I'll be doing here on my channel, and be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.